Oh, hello guys. Welcome back to the channel, Sharp Star Astro. I know it's been quite a long time since my last video, about 2 years ago. And you may be wondering, why am I suddenly popping up now to create a video when I haven't created a video in years? Why don't I just stay consistent? Well, I'm asking myself that exact same question. So now I'm going to start uploading here because why not? I always gave myself the excuse that it's because I'm busy with this, busy with that. Like, I am busy, but I'm just making excuses to why I can't take the time to upload a video when I'm still interested in astrophotography. So I'm gonna change that. I am obviously gonna be pretty rusty with astrophotography because I haven't nearly been doing it as much as I used to when I was consistently uploading here. It's gonna take a little while for me to, get back into the flow of things, but I'm pretty good at picking things up. I can I can pick something up, learn quickly. I've been learning a lot of different skills on my time away from astrophotography. Maybe this will resonate with some of you out there who maybe, let's say something like this happened where you got away from astrophotography for a while and now you want to come back to it, but you're a little overwhelmed because the world has been speeding up so much. AI, there's so many different things now that have come along that weren't around just even 3 years ago when I was doing astrophotography. So much advancement in equipment and stuff like that. And tonight, why am I starting this video? The reason is because tonight there's a total lunar eclipse, and I thought that's the perfect event to kickstart activity and kickstart posting videos on my channel, with the first one being capturing the total lunar eclipse. That's exactly what I'm going to do tonight. Right now it's about 2 a.m. I have 2 more hours. I'm on the East Coast here in Massachusetts, so the eclipse, the totality is going to be, it's going to be very close to the horizon when it's actually at totality. And also, I think the sun's going to be rising, so I'm not sure how much of totality I'm going to actually be able to capture, but I think I'll be able to get the partial phases before totality, so that's what I'm aiming for. And it should be clear. My plan right now is it's a very simple, I know I haven't forgotten everything. I know the camera I'm going to use, so I actually bought a EOS R10. I was using that camera for other filming. I think it's a really good camera. I mean, it's definitely better than the old T1Is, the old Rebels models that I used to use. So I'm going to use that to shoot the lunar eclipse. And then I'm just going to use my good old 300mm zoom lens. But one other thing that I saw recently, because I haven't been keeping up with some of the other astrophotography channels that I subscribe to, is there's these new telescopes. And it's basically AI, like a lot of AI integrated into them. And they can literally, they're like this big, right? They're like the robot telescopes, those little telescopes. The images now that I saw, Astro Backyard posted a video on one of the recent ones. I saw the final images. They were insane with very minimal effort. And I was like, wow. Like, it almost, honestly, do you know what my opinion on that is? Honestly, I think that it takes all the fun away from it, because the fun is like the journey, the effort. Like, the more effort you put into getting the result, the more satisfaction you feel. So I feel like it would just be like, oh, I got this nice picture of Orion Nebula. I barely did any work. Look how great it is, post it. No, I want to have my telescope, set it all up. It's just more fun that way. And I promise you, you have a good enough setup. Those, no matter how good, those AI telescopes, those robot telescopes, I forget what the exact name is of them, they're never going to be able to surpass the expertise of a professional, like a really good amateur astrophotographer with a good setup. Never. I don't think they'll ever get that good. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I don't know. Anyway, I'll show you guys my setup right now, and then I'm just gonna wait. We're gonna drive there. I still haven't figured out the location. I can't shoot it here, unfortunately, in my yard, because there's just too much. There's too much trees in the way, and it's gonna be closer to the horizon. It's gonna be setting in the west. So I'm gonna have to drive around. So I'm gonna leave the house at 4 a.m. and I'm gonna give myself some time to figure out a place to set everything up so I can get a clear view, and hopefully everything works out so I'm actually able to capture it tonight and share with you guys some good photos. Now I'm going to get back into shooting, deep sky and planetary stuff slowly, but like I said, I'm a little bit rusty. I guarantee you the second I start doing it again, it's going to come back. But hopefully you guys can resonate with me. Like I said, if you've been off doing other things and you haven't been doing astrophotography, hopefully you can see this and be like, maybe I should just start getting back to it. Not even a lot, just a little bit. Like, for example, tonight, perfect opportunity to get back into it slowly with something like the moon, which is extremely easy to capture. And all you need, literally, you don't even need any DSLR camera at all. All you need is your cell phone, take a nice picture, and post it on your Instagram. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing tonight. And another thing is, hopefully, when I did this stuff in the past, like a long time ago, this button-down shirt is extremely tight. Like a few years ago, like I always, when you're out there at night and like parked in weird places, it's like the police sometimes always come and bother me. Once I was doing this in a field. It was 3:30 a.m. in the morning. I'm deep in the field, and a cop car comes, pulls up at the side. And I'm like, oh great, this is gonna be, what does he think I'm doing, right? And then he, you know, they have that big massive light on the front. He like blares it at me, and I'm just trying to capture my exposure of the Milky Way, and he's like putting the light directly on me. I'm like, great man, you just ruined my nice sub, right? And he keeps shining it there for like 3 minutes. I'm like, just come over and talk to me. But yeah, then he came over and I saw what I was doing, and he was fine with it. But yeah, so hopefully I don't get, a cop doesn't come over and ruin the whole entire experience, but that's definitely a possibility. But now I have my license, so it's so much easier. I'm 19. It's so much easier for me now because now I can just go out there. I don't have to ask my dad or my mom to come drive me to some place at 3:30 in the morning. I can just do it myself. But this right here, like I was just saying, this is the setup we're using. So we got on here my 75 to 300 millimeter zoom lens, my old trusty zoom lens here. I like it a lot just because it's very simple, it's not heavy. Especially this camera here, it's the EOS R10. It's kind of a smaller body of a camera compared to my other DSLRs, the other Rebel T1Is. And also the other zoom lens, if you've ever looked at some of the other zoom lenses, especially from Canon, like the really good ones, they're not called zoom lenses. I forget, they're like telephoto, just very high magnification lenses for like bird photography, really, really hardcore photographers. They cost thousands of dollars. So this one here does just perfectly fine. So if you want to capture the eclipse, I've captured, let me actually put some photos on screen right now. With this little crappy lens right here, I've captured actually galaxies. I took a lot of my first ever astrophotography photos with this one, and I did capture a lunar eclipse before, and I'll put the photo on screen here as well with this exact lens, and the photo came out perfect. I liked it a lot, so I'm gonna use it again. And it's also nice, so I can have the 75, so if I want a little wider view, all the way to 300, which will give me a fairly up close view. So maybe I'm thinking if there's a good foreground subject, I can take a longer exposure of the foreground and then blend it in with the 300 millimeter view of the moon. That could look really cool. And then in Photoshop, put everything together. So a lot of people say, oh, that's not like a real picture. It is, because it's just the moon as it was in the sky with the foreground below it. It's just to get everything all together, you have to do a little more work, because if you do it, you can't get everything in just a single snapshot, if you understand what I'm saying. Or it would be a lot harder. You need a wider lens. And as you can see, this is the new camera that I have. I think it's a really nice camera. As you can see there, the EOS R10. I have this little adapter right here on it so that it fits my standard, so it fits my standard EF lenses. So this is the Canon zoom lens EF. So I have this little adapter right on here, and overall I like this camera a lot. I have not even really used it that much, but I think it's going to take some really nice clear, it definitely takes good videos, but that's for sure. I think it's going to take some really nice clear pictures as well. And the screen on it is really nice flip out screen. One thing with these cameras though, I'm not sure if it's with the other Canon models, but the R10, for whatever reason, the battery dies, and it dies fairly quickly, more quickly than I would like it to. Like I'll be doing, especially, for videos, it dies very quickly. Like I'll be doing a video, and it's like you start out fully charged, and then you could just go for like 45 minutes, and it's already at the last little bar. Their battery should be a little more, they should last a little bit longer. So I'm gonna have to buy more batteries, because unfortunately I only have one, so that's charging right now, and I'm not gonna be there for that long, so it'll last. And then of course we can't forget, all we need after that is our intervalometer cable here. Had this thing for countless number of years, honestly, and it's worked perfectly fine. And I need the interferometer cable because if you're taking with your finger, oftentimes if you want to take a little bit longer exposure, you'll add too much shake. You'll add too much shake in there. This interferometer cable, you can set it so you can set the delay, the long, and the interval between shots. So the longer exposure, and then all you got to do is just click from here to take the picture. It eliminates all that camera shake from you pressing the shutter button, and it's just gonna make the experience a whole lot better. You're going to be able to get a lot clearer pictures, especially when you're doing photography like astrophotography and photographing eclipses like I'm going to be tonight, like the lunar eclipse. I'm going to be able to set the camera up and then just going to be able to snap pictures using this little control right here very easily. So that's the setup. It's extremely simple. I want to make the videos more in depth than I used to have them. I can't do too much right now because it's kind of like late, but I want to make them more in depth, show you guys more things, and give you guys as much knowledge as I have, even if it's not that much in the current moment. Just explain and share as much as possible to make the videos as valuable as possible. Not just like one video, I just set up the camera, here's my image, more of like the start, the finish, the editing, the final photo, just more in detail. And I think that goes a long way for these type of videos. Okay guys, we're leaving now. 4:25 a.m. It's right about time. As you can see, got an upgrade to my collection. We got a red light lantern. This thing is sick. We are ready. The moon, as you can see in my yard, is right over there, kind of setting right now. We definitely need to get to a better, clear place. It is absolutely freezing cold. She starts! That's what I was worried about, actually, because this is kind of an old car. Waiting for my windshield to defrost before I can leave. Can't see that much. Now, the plan for me to find a spot to film now, guys, is basically just going to be look around on the road until I see a place where I can get the moon in clear view. See it right there? I think this is going to be a good place. It's very close to my house, which is good. Actually see the eclipse is starting to happen, guys. It's starting to happen. Okay, guys, we're walking to the location now. As you can see, it's this kind of open lake. It's actually happening. You probably can't see it with the phone camera, but the eclipse is actually in progress right now. I better run across the street. Get all this big, it's ledge here, almost fell. Okay. Further back I'm gonna get, the better view I'm gonna have, so. Okay, I think I got a pretty good view of it. One time I need this stupid tripod to stand. Okay. And I can see the eclipse happening right now. Stupid of me to not bring the flashlight. I actually gotta go and get the flashlight, guys. Protect my setup. So guys, the eclipse is starting to happen. It's definitely in the partial stage right now, but it is starting, one of the sides is starting to darken. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of shots of it. Pretty good focus. Now my light is not really working. I had this light for a long time and it's failing me right now when I need it. Okay. Anyway, guys, so this right here is one of the raw files. What I'm going to do now is go through kind of the process of how I edit this. It's just some light editing, nothing crazy. And you're kind of going to do it with me. You're going to like learn at the same time as I am, because I know how to remove things like this, but it's always a little bit tricky. It depends on the picture, different lens flares,
You know what I mean? It's always a little bit tricky in Photoshop. This is very easy to remove. This right here, this little chromatic aberration, this purple flare, because the lens I'm using, a cheap 3, well, I won't call it, it's cheap because it's like not that expensive, but I would say it's a really good lens. I would say it's a really good budget lens, but of course you're gonna have a lot of things like this, and they're gonna be, I think every camera lens has things like this, but it's just like in the cheaper lenses you get it more. First thing what I'm gonna do is see if it needs a little bit of a crop. I'm not a Photoshop like wizard. I know how to use it, but it's kind of like I use it for minor things. Right now, I'm gonna get back, once I get back to editing full-blown astrophotography images, I'll have to refresh some of my skills. Okay, that looks good. First thing what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go into filter, camera raw filter, and we're gonna zoom in here, and we're gonna remove this chromatic aberration, this purple fringe on the moon. This looks absolutely disgusting. So let's do this. So purple amount right down here, defringe. Just bring this like that, and that does a really good job. But as you'll notice, weird things start happening to the moon here. Weird color artifacts before it looks fine, and then now the weird color artifacts here, as you see. So you can't just do that, unfortunately. So what we're gonna do is just cancel this, and we're going to select this area here with one of our tools. Okay, that looks good. Now what we're gonna do is select and mask. And that's about right there. Okay. Now it's time to go to filter, camera raw filter. And now it's only going to apply to that right there. It's only going to apply to our selection. And as you see here, it looks like it did it here, but it actually didn't. It only applied to our selection there. And pretty much that removes it, and that solves the issue. That looks good. That looks good enough right there. Okay. Also, you can play around with these colors here, and that can really help. Like, look at this. Look at this, guys. For the purples, look at that. It took it right away. This was before, and then look at that. It targeted that perfectly. And there we go. So really, as you can see here, by selecting things specifically and targeting them in the image and not just applying broad levels to everything, you can really refine your image perfectly and get the colors perfect by just selecting things, editing that, selecting more, and not applying things broadly to the entire image, but selecting everything specifically and then editing it. And as you do these things, you just play around with it. You just learn, like, okay, I don't want a feather at 5. You tried with the feather too much. It doesn't do as much good of a job. So then you lessen the feather down. So you just play around with it. And as you play around with it, the more you find out. And as you can see, after we remove the fringe, kind of has this little ring here. And sometimes what I like to do is use the removal tool here and just see what that does, because sometimes it does a good job. If you do it carefully around the edge here and just carefully brush around the edge, you can do a good job. But as you can see there, it's not doing that good of a job. So we're just going to leave that. And then later on, we can take care of that. So let's create another layer now. And the next thing we're going to target is this big thing right here. We got that lens flare right there. So what we're going to do to remove that is just any different ways you can do it. You can take just the lasso tool here, just kind of go like this. Okay, there we go. Sometimes this works. So edit, fill, content aware. It didn't do the greatest job. No, I don't like that at all. So instead of doing it that way, what we're going to do is just very simple. Removal tool, bring the size up of the brush, and just go like this. And usually, surprisingly, depending on your image, right? This is a very simple one. It's just in the sky. This will work well enough. And as you can see there, it did an amazing job. And it uses AI, so you can it kind of looks at the image itself, matches everything. Look at that. Perfect. It's completely gone there. You would never be able to tell before, after, before, after. But if you have a good eye, you can see that the edges of it are kind of still there. So what we're going to do is do it again. And this time, target these edges here. If I didn't have this nice remover tool, it would take a lot longer to actually do it better. I'd have to do the content aware fill with some other things and some selected brightness adjustments. Look at that. Look at how good that looks. Perfect. Before, after, I think that took care of it. Looks really good. So let's do a general curves layer on it here. And what we're going to do is we're going to target certain areas of the image. So we're going to take our little eyedropper tool and we're going to drop it on the moon here. And I'm going to bring this up. Then I'm going to take it and I'll bring this down. Don't go crazy. Bring it up and then take the big image. Do this a couple more times like this. Like this. Like that. Like this. Okay, I'm kind of liking how this is looking right now. I like it. Looks good. Next step is one thing I noticed is that this right here is way blown out. I don't like it. So we're going to use our selection tool. Want to get it all out there, even to the outer glow. Include all this outer glow area. Now we're going to do select, and mask this beautiful button. And as you can see, where we have selected is regular, and then with that where it's not going to be included in the mask is red. So let's go and do some adjustments. Smooth. I don't know what the hell that does. What is this, feather? Okay, that's good. But the contrast, bring that contrast in a little bit. In the edge, always like to shift that out just a tad like that. This could be a crap selection. We'll see. I don't really care. Okay, let's go there. Perfect. Now let's do on this here adjustment layer curves. Okay. And now we can just play around with just this here. Woo! Woo! No, I don't want that. So let's see. Okay, that was the original. There we go. I kind of like that. Opacity 71%. I have to say my number one feature in Photoshop has to be camera raw filter. Why am I the only one inside on a Saturday? It's a beautiful day outside. I'm trapped in here. Trying to figure out these stupid masks. Now, layer. New adjustment layer. Woo! Color balance. And now we can really play around with the color. You see this? Look at that. Full control. If we want a green moon, it's emitting alien juice. We got it. Look at that. See, guys? I was missing it. It's not the hue saturation. It's the color balance. Look at that. Look how much that... Wow, that fixed the image there. Look. Before, look at that horrible green, yellowish. You don't like? After. Ooh, could be a little aggressive. Before, after. Ooh, that looks so much better. I love how that looks so... See, look, before, horrible greenish, disgusting looking hue. And now look, after. Ooh, that looks good. 15 is my number because I remember in school, someone asked me, the teacher asked me to go up in the board and do like 5 times 3. And she said, okay, 5 times 3, write it out on the board, 5x3, put an equal sign, and now she says, write the answer. And I did not know the answer. I did not know. I struggled for a long time. The whole class laughed at me. I still remember it to this day. This was in 6th grade. And the teacher was looking at me like, you don't know, come on, you're telling me you don't know what 5 times 3 is? Are you serious? Like, are you, like, looking at me like I'm like I should not be in school, I'm retarded or something, like. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what 5 times 3 is. I can't figure it out. I was like, I don't know why. It's in 6th grade. And then I eventually, of course, she didn't let, it was humiliation because you don't let you sit down until you get the answer. So then I worked out the answer. She was like, the 5 times 3. So 5 plus 5 plus 5. I was like, oh, it's 15. And that's why, to this day, 15 is one of my favorite numbers. Okay, so 15 on this. This looks good. I like that a lot. it matches in with the blue, dark blue sky here. Before, after. That looks really good. You have to be really careful with these. Really careful. But for an experienced imager like me, careful does not need to be said. Now let's do on the zoom out. Before, that weird glow coloring. After, love that. Now the only few other things we can do, guys, to make this image look even better is select the moon here, this side of the moon, and do some selective adjustments on it to bring out those red, beautiful red orange colors from the eclipse, and just make things a little bit sharper, make things pop a little bit more. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Take this, select, minus this, like this. I like that. Let's go like this, perfect, just like that. Now we can do some adjustments here. Going to do some hue saturation. I see some people post and they're just like this. They must have just gone like boom, boom, and then be like, "Oh, this looks so good. Let's post it. Phone guys, look at my image." You want to make sure you go less aggressive. You know, you want to make things look natural. I like natural looking images. They're the best looking images. And this part of the moon here is causing some issues. Okay, I like that. Before, after. So see, we're not clipping anything. We have all the way until here. Bring this in just a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay. Almost done. New layer. Let's do a general camera raw on it. Look at that. I always like a little texture, not crazy, just a little bit. And the rest of the sliders, let's just leave alone. Like that. I like that a lot. Okay, guys, that right there looks good. Let's okay. Boom! Look at that. It's beautiful. Still a little overly blue right here, but I'm not going to fix that. That's good right now. It blends in when you zoom out. That side of the moon is looking perfect. The colors are perfectly matched. This looks beautiful. Nice glow. As you can tell, there's a little dark spot right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can see it. Okay, so we're going to do adjustment layer, curves. Before, look, before, see this dark smudge? After, but that does not look right. Okay, before, dark smudge, after, looks better, but not right. Again, we're going to select the moon. Again, how bad you really want this, you know? Okay. Ooh, I like that. I like what that doing to the image. Maybe I just contradicted myself. I was like, oh, you need to be it natural. Maybe this is not natural. One thing I do like is I like saturation. I like saturated things. There we go, guys. Okay. Select. Deselect. That right there is the final picture. Whew, zoom into the moon. I love how the colors look on that. The colors look absolutely amazing to me. Look at all those colors there. Doesn't look too, you know, unnatural, outblown, or just too overly saturated. I think it looks just, you know, perfect. But this sides here look really good. Nicely saturated. That beautiful orange reddish color. The glow looks nice. Little artifacts here, some more little purple there. I could clean that up, but I think we're good for now. You're going to be viewing the image zoomed out. You could get crazy and clean that up a little bit more, but overall I think it looks really good. Nice detail visible as well. Zoom out, you got some nice stars, wispy clouds. That right there is the final image, guys. I think it really looks good. Tell me what you think. I'm going to show some of the other ones as well as this one at the end of the video. So I hope you got something out of that. I know it was a little bit messy editing it because kind of learning with you as well as just brushing up on my Photoshop skills, but I think I was able to show you guys how I generally process something like this in a lunar eclipse image like this. It go with a lot of different masks, adjustments, you know, just careful little adjustments gets you the whole way through to your final image. So I think it looks really good. This was taken about a month ago, like I said, so kind of recent. I'm going to get, I have a lot of other things planned as well. I want to get my star tracker going, my big telescope going again, start taking some pictures of some galaxies before the season ends. And also there's a comet in the night sky. I might try to capture that. I'm going to travel to some open place because there's so many trees around here and maybe capture a comet in the early morning.